Guys, I'm back again, this time for cancers. As I said before, I do readings for the collective, not any person in particular, any situation in particular. I've also stated that I work with intuition, so I go by how I feel, and sometimes I do tend to swear with what I'm feeling in the cards, and if you don't like swearing, as I suggested before, click off the video, because I haven't got time to edit for certain reasons, and I just haven't got the time really. So let's get on with cancers. So let's see what's coming up for cancers in the month. What is coming up for you guys and going on with cancers for the month? What is going on for cancers in the month? Let's see. Let's have a little look here. So, and there. Lovely. So, right now, I'm feeling like there is there's some of you playing with fire, if you like. This card here, the woman is reaching and there's the viper trying to strike at her, and I just see it as you're playing with fire because you think you can outsmart the situation, if you like. It's very much a situation that you've gotten yourself into, but it's for pleasure, I see. You get pleasure out of it. The situation that you're in playing fire, you're getting pleasure out of it. Why are you getting pleasure? Let's have a look. It's to prove a point. It's proving a point that you are capable. I don't know if you've had people say that you're not capable of certain tasks, or I don't know, you're like, you know, the stigma women get, like, you can't do it, you're a woman, only man can do this, or vice versa. It's very much like that. You're proving a point, you're out to prove a point, and that's why you're getting pleasure out of it, because the point you're proving is working for you at this time. But things are starting to catch up on you. You've always been able to just slide in the cracks and just not be detected by the radar, if you like. But now it's someone's caught you, and you're not so much physically someone's caught you, but you've been either seen or someone's onto you, and you're like, shh, don't tell them, or you're hoping. You don't have to literally shush, don't tell them. It's like you're hoping that you're not gonna get grassed up, or someone's not gonna reveal what you're doing. So it's like with this one, it's like you're very, at the moment, it's like you're constantly looking over your shoulder because you've been caught in some way. You've got your head over your shoulder. That you're trying to prepare yourself if shit hits the fan, that you're ready. But just because you have a sword doesn't mean you know how to wield it. You're planning. I see some planning going on with, if you like, talking battle terms, battle strategy. It's you're trying to get a higher advantage point, if you like, to see, well, if this happens, I'll do this, or if I do this, they'll do that, so then I'll do this. It's like you're trying to play a game of chess. You're trying to be 2 steps ahead and then be 3 steps behind. But you're out of your element. You think you can handle this because you think you're so smart. Because you've gotten away with it for so long, you've kind of got sloppy, if you like, and it's now you're having to rethink whether it's a good idea, but you're like, I've gotten away with this song. If I just adjust this, I'll be able to do it. I know I can. But the more and more you do it, the more and more it's coming to light. And you try and play it off. I feel like you try and play it off like, oh, it's just a bit of fun, or it's just a bit of banter. But it's not. Your intention to prove what you're proving is hurting people. And it's not just hurting people, it's hurting yourself too. Because it's, as I said, it's not in your element. It's very unnatural for you. You're doing it for the sole purpose of proving a point. It's not within your nature, I feel, within this. What you're doing isn't really within the nature of who you are. What does that card mean? Let's have a look. There's a warning here that you may think you have the weapons, but here in this card, the Queen of Swords, I see here, you've got her and the sword is impaled into something, but it's stuck and you can only see part of the sword. When that pulls out, I see it as it's going to be broken, which means there's going to be no blade, which means your strike is going to be blunt, which means it's going to do no effect. But if you keep going like this, you're going to be the one to get burnt. Someone's going to teach you the lesson to not... It's like they're going to be like, oh, you think you can play this game? Well, I'm the maker of this game. Let's go some. It's very much you're going to challenge someone who is bigger and better at this than you and can hurt a lot worse. And you're going to try and act like you're not bothered by it. But you are, as I suspected. But even though it's like you'll sit in your bedroom and you'll tell yourself, it's like you perk yourself up, oh, you can do this, come on. Oh, if they start, I'm going to do this, I'm going to... It's like when you're a kid and your mum tells you and you're like, fucking start on me, I'll come for you. It's very much like that. It's you prep yourself up and talk the talk that you can do it, but when it actually comes to it and you're faced with it, you're all bark and no bite, it seems, in this situation. You very much will say you'll do this, you'll talk to people like, well, if they do this or I see this person, I'm going to do that because blah, blah, blah. But when it actually comes to it, real face down to it, you're the one that's going to get hurt, not every fucker else. So now let's have a look at the overall for a little bit of guidance and advice of how you should deal with the situation. How should Francis deal with the situation? How should they approach the situation? Let's have a little look, shall we? We shall. Lovely. I'm getting it as very much, you don't need to prove this point. If you like, you're playing this game with the dead, if you like it's not, you're not getting the point that you're trying to get across. It's very, right now, dead people don't move, they don't care, it's the dead. It's very much, you're picking on the dead, not literally, but you're picking on the dead in this situation, like in this sense that you're picking on something that won't fight back, if you like, won't argue back, won't talk back, won't do anything about it. If it was a person, you would be picking on someone smaller than you that can't defend themselves. It's very much as the purpose you're trying to prove the point. You know, whoever you're proving the point to or whatever you're proving the point for, nothing's going to be done about it. Someone's going to have to step in. But it's very much when people do step in, you try and play the victim in this situation. Like, oh no, it's innocent, honestly. Well, I was only having a joke, it's not my fault. It's very much, you try to cry wolf. Oh no, it wasn't me, not little old me. But then you'll become the wolf. And then you'll become the sheep. When a bigger wolf actually steps in and becomes alpha, you're like, well, I'm just a little old sheep. It's much of a manipulative game, but you're going to get burned. And the question is why? What is it that you... It's very like... I don't even know why you're... It doesn't make sense. Not the cards that make sense. Like, the situation, me thinking about it even when I'm reading it, it doesn't make sense to why you want to prove the point. Why do you feel the need for it? There's no need for it. No one caused you aggro completely. It's like probably someone said something and now you're having to prove every fucker wrong. You could just prove that one person. You had to prove everyone wrong. And it's until you're right, well, then every fucker else has to be wrong. You can't just grit your teeth and grin and bear it. You have to do it and then go that little extra mile. And it's because, well, I know why, because you're getting pleasure out of it. But you're hurting yourself, and that is, you're hurting yourself. Not just yourself, you're hurting yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's bringing you down, it's making a toll on your soul. And all it is going to do, this whole situation, is you're going to be shunned. People are going to realise what you're doing and they're not going to put up with it, and they're not going to want to know what's going on. They don't want to know you. They're not going to want to... They're not going to want to associate being near you because they're like, wherever they go, trouble's going to follow. You're going to be left out in the cold. And it's very much what I'm getting with this, is you need to evaluate. Sometimes you need to let something go. And you need to... What can I say? I'm trying to think of the word. I'm getting that you really should reflect. That's my bit of advice with reading these cards. It's not going to end well. You need to reflect, because these cards help us know what's coming up and help us reflect and adjust to the situation to better ourselves. And it's very much like you need to reflect on, is it actually worth losing things around us to prove a point? That's what I'm really getting for this. Because sometimes in life, you have to grit your teeth. As much as it kills you and you want to just prove someone you're right, it's not worth it at times. Sometimes you just have to let it go. That's all I can suggest for you guys.